Hello everyone, Sire here. Thank you so much for joining me. This is a video on my BetterPress system that someone had gifted me for my birthday. I was extremely excited and surprised to receive such an awesome gift. This comes with some paper, the three colors there, booklet, ink, some washi tape, and the die. The washi tape, that's nice, but I'm not a big fan of it. You really, as you can see, I have to really get untacky because it will rip the paper easily if you're not careful. And so I'll just put that down. I'm just going to put a little bit on both sides. And then the nice thing about the die that you get, it actually gives you two sentiments that are pretty much the same, except one is the American spelling and the other one is the Canadian/British spelling. So I can actually choose the one that works for me. And I thought that was really nice. For the first card, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a bare basic print. I just want to play with this. Full disclosure, I've already played with this before this video. I couldn't help myself, but let's pretend this is the first time. And I'm just going to ink that up. I found it a little bit difficult to know if you're getting enough ink or not, so I just went heavy on that. And the neat thing is that you don't have much pressure on this, so it feels like it's not going to work, and then when you pick it up, presto, there you go. You have this awesome printed or pressed image. It's really neat, and I love how crisp and awesome it is. Just testing it, feeling it. It's dry. It's really cool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to watercolor this one. Next, I'm going to do it again. I didn't have any cleaner, so I wanted to see if I wiped it off good enough, if I could create just an indent. So I'm going to do this again, put it through the machine. And there are a lot of videos out there on BetterPress examples of what people have done. So I'm not doing anything new. And as you can see here, it wasn't fully clean. So I'm just going to work with this. That I'm not going to waste paper. It's totally fine. I'm going to ink this up and just have some fun. But I think there is a cleaner out there, the archival cleaner. I think that will clean it right off. So to have some fun, I'm just going to grab some inks here, and I think they are my PinkFresh ones. And I'm going to do some really abstract coloring here, following the image. But I'm not going to stay in the lines. What I want to test is I want to see what happens with the ink on these lines. And what's happening is the ink is getting caught in the indents, and so that's why you're getting a really dark impression with this. And to me, that's pretty cool. I love the cloud effect, like where you're going outside the line with your bristle or your makeup brush, and then the image that's pressed into the paper is actually getting darker. So it's really bringing out your design, and I thought that's really neat. So I'm then just filling this in with some blue to get that sentiment in there as well. And I'm just going to put this aside for the time being. I'm going to ruin it by doing something, but I'll show it to the end of the video. So for what I'm going to do now, you can definitely fast forward this to the end if you're interested in the other card. But what I'm going to be doing is just showing some coloring. Sometimes I like to watch coloring happening at fast rate. And so I thought I'd just leave this in, and I wanted to practice, or not practice, I wanted to try watercoloring with these images. They work really well. Now I'm just getting a zoom in here so you can see a little bit better. I don't think I needed to wait for the ink to dry. It probably dried pretty well, and it's because it's archival, it will not run, and it's keeping its sharp image. The water is staying within the lines because of those grooves. It's a dream to watercolor with, to be honest. I'm not an excellent watercolorist, but I was having a lot of fun with this benefit of it keeping inside the lines. So I am working with some Altenew watercolors. I'll put them in the description box below. I like these. They have a little bit of pigment. It's pretty much solid pigment, and then I just add to acrylic block and add water so I have more control with it. If you went the other way, it's going to be really dark, and there's no way to really wash that out unless you just add a lot of water afterwards. So I'm just following the image, trying to create some shading. I'm learning. I'm trying to really visualize when I'm coloring now, where are shadows, how are they going to be when things are overlapping, what's closer to you, what's further away from you. I can still see some errors that I made a mistake in where it's not really making sense, but thankfully the image itself has its shadows and shading and stuff that it kind of helps with my image. So you always have that, and it kind of makes it look more professional without having to put too much effort into it. And now I'm just going to color the leaves. This is a very light color. It's called Mountain Mist. So I'm just going to use this as an undercoat just to get it so it's not white. And then I'm going to come in with some other colors, and I'm going to play with some blues and a darker green. The paper that comes in this collection anyways, it's cotton paper. And I can't remember the names of them, but it does come in with a white, almost a cream, and a gray color. The gray color is fun. I'm not sure I've made anything that is worthy enough to showcase. Of course, I only have this one plate so far, so it's not like I have much to work with. However, that's really an excuse because, like I said, what people have been doing online, it's phenomenal. People are just amazing. I can only wish to be like that right now. But it's fun. And the thing about the paper, it is 118 pounds, I believe, and so it has a lot of give. So that when you do run it through your BetterPress, it's going to really press in well because it's nice and soft. If you were to use 65 pound or even 80, I don't think you're going to get that nice impression. I personally am going to start seeing if I can find other ways of getting this cotton paper that's not through the website. Not that it's bad paper, but living in Canada, it does get pricey to ship across the border, so with duties and everything. So I try to find my paper sources in Canada, so it's a little bit more manageable, or not manageable, but a little bit cheaper. So I'm just going to play around and see if I can find some cotton examples and see what I can play with. And if I do find something that I like, I will share that. I think this is something I'm going to be playing around with a lot because I can watercolor with it. That's awesome. But also because unlike the Glimmer machine, which I have, this thing is so easy and quick to use. I don't need to set anything up. I don't need to have a dedicated spot for it. I don't need to wait for it to warm up. I can just pull it out, ink it up, run it through my machine, and it's done. So that alone is a winner for me. And it's just the crispness of these images, not Christmas. The crispness is amazing. So I just love this product. And now what I'm doing is I'm just propping this up. I did trim it down slightly, and I'm just going to prop it up and just make a nice, simple card with this image. I really like this. This is so pretty, and yeah, it's great. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of sequence. These sequence mix did come from Concord and Ninth summer camp. If you guys were part of that in end of June, hello. I was part of that, and it was a lot of fun. So the sequin mix that was part of that. And I thought I'd just throw a couple of these around the image to conclude this card. And I'm using some Simon Says Crafty Tacky glue, which does clog sometimes, but there we go. Look at that. Oh, I love this. Okay, back to the other card. I've had let that sit for a while, and what I'm doing here is I want to play with it. I just want to see what I can do. So I'm trying to line this back up, just feeling it. Full disclosure, I didn't line it up properly, so it is off a tad. This is not the best way of doing this. The reason I'm doing this is because I had already taken everything apart, and this is a couple days later, and I wanted to play with it some more. So I thought I would try to line it up, flip the platform on top so that the magnet catches it, and then I will add some embossing ink to this. So I've already previously created this card using the no ink method, which was still a little bit dirty. And then now I'm going to do this again with some embossing ink. I'm going to press it through my machine, which I did off camera. And then I'm going to add some gold embossing powder and heat set that. Like I said, it is offset, so it is going to give you a little bit of a blur effect, but I just wanted to show you that it does work essentially. So I'm just going to add that up, and then I'm going to take my paintbrush and just clean it all off and heat set that off camera, and there we go. That's pretty cool. It still has a really crisp image, and it doesn't have any missing pieces to it. It followed the design quite well, and if it was more center or aligned as it should have been, then it would be even better. But I'm happy with this, and I might make a card with it and just hand it out to someone. So thank you for playing along with me. Thank you for joining me and just seeing what I've been doing on my spare time with my BetterPress. And until the next time, I hope you all have a wonderful long weekend. I believe Independence Day for you guys. We have Canada Days today. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.